I'm going to sit here and stare at the camera for a second. So there's this game studio called Tentons Limited, and I love their games. They make this... Basically, they make a lot of top-down shooters, but they make, like, they've got, like, these different lines of them, different approaches that they've taken to just basically take that sort of simple set of conventions and use them in a ton of different ways. And one thing that just fascinates me is the way that, you know, if you play through their catalog, you can just sort of watch them, you know, starting very simply and then expanding over time. You know, like sort of trying new things, adding stuff to the repertoire until their games get more and more interesting and complex, and they also get better at doing what they do. So let's start with, I think this might be their first released game. I'm not dead certain about that, but it's called Crimsonland. You can't see the entire title because my head is rudely in the way, but it's called Crimsonland. I don't know if this is their first title, but it is definitely an early one. It's about the simplest kind of top-down shooter you can do. I'll go quests, the second level, and I don't know, Arachnoid Farm? Sure, let's do Arachnoid Farm. I have no idea what this is going to be. So, you have a gun. You're shooting spiders. They're coming out of holes. Occasionally, power-ups appear so that you kill more spiders. You just shoot and shoot and shoot. And oh! Every now and then you level up and you get to pick a perk. So I've got a horrible disease. Let's see what happens to that. I'm not sure what effect that actually is having. But I'm going to destroy these spawners. So periodically you'll see me run out of bullets and my character will just have to pause and reload. There's no button to reload, it just reloads. It's very fine, very simple. You'll notice at the top there's a progress bar. It fills up with green. And below it is another bar that fills up with blue. The blue bar fills up until I unlock a perk. The green bar shows me how close I am to killing enough enemies to win the game. These are fire bullets, by the way. Fire bullets pass straight through enemies and do a ton of damage. Fast loader, sure. So one thing I love about this game is it feels like the kind of thing that anybody could make, really. I mean, you know, if you just take some Game Maker or Unity tutorials, you could make a game a lot like this without a lot of people. I mean, I imagine the team on this was probably pretty small. They probably, you know, I mean, they've got a lot of levels here, so they definitely put some time, effort into it, and you know, and the game definitely works. You know, it's not like I've played some games, you know, where you feel like, did anyone even try? This is not one of those games. I mean, you know, some of the choices that they made are interesting. Like the speed of the character is very, very low. The speed of the enemies is very low. The whole thing progresses pretty slowly compared to a lot of games that I'm used to. But I mean, your speed and the enemy speed are balanced against each other, so it doesn't feel inappropriate. It's just slower than you know, most games that I've played in this genre. Let's do another one. I haven't played this one at all. Two fronts. So again, I start with my simplest weapon. And what? Did that guy split into two guys? Let's grab a shotgun this time. Okay, that did absolutely nothing. Okay, it's called two fronts because it's spawning two different enemy types on either side of me. Okay, I'll move faster the longer I run without stopping. Well, let's not stop that, obviously. My favorite kinds of perks are the ones that fundamentally change the way you play. So you can see my progress bar filling up. So as long as I manage not to die, keep killing enemies, eventually that thing will fill up and we'll be done. Poison projectiles. I think I'm killing them fast enough, that seems unnecessary. Ammo maniac. you pack your clips with 20% more ammo. Okay, so I won't have to reload as often. That's good. Oh, hey, let's kill this spawner. Oh, hey, a nuke. Boom. There's another heart. So this game has the same kind of strategy that you see in, well, here we go. Fast shot, sure. I guess it's a little faster, but it's the same sort of strategy, right? You just sort of like kite the enemies around. You just keep moving, keep trying to, keep some space ahead of you. It doesn't have any enemies into it that you can move into. And meanwhile, sort of collect the enemies in a big heap behind you that you can fire into, especially with something like a shotgun. And the more you can sort of pack the enemies together, the easier targets they are. Whoa, and I've unlocked this new weapon, the flamethrower. Sweet. So now I will randomly start finding flamethrowers around the world. Cool. So that is Crimsonland. Now, Crimsonland came out a while ago. It was, like I said, it was one of their earliest games. Let's switch now to one of their newer games. I think this might be the most recent one that came out. Tesla VS Lovecraft. So, in between, they made several other games. They made a game about time travel, and they made Neon Chrome, and they made Jidge. I think it's pronounced Judge, but it looks like Jidge. They made Jidge, which I think I did another video about. It's a pretty cool one. But this is Tesla vs. Lovecraft, and the thing that I love about Tesla vs. Lovecraft is it is basically Crimsonland, but just with everything they've learned since then. All of the technology and techniques and lessons and everything they've picked up, it's basically the same. So let's go in here. So notice, okay, so instead of being a little guy with a gun, I am Nikola Tesla in a giant mech. The mech's not going to last very long though. I'm going to be Nikola Tesla standing around in a second. I got a revolver now. So you notice this game is basically the same. I'm kiting enemies around. I can teleport, which is cool. This is the Nikola Tesla from the movie The Prestige, I'm pretty sure, because teleportation is not normally one of Tesla's powers. But look, I've got a nuke that destroys all the enemies around me. Look at the the bar up here. When it fills up, I get to choose perks from a list. More health, extra speed. Well, oh crap! I was not expecting that to be the last one. There's a new mechanic in that I'm constantly collecting these machine parts so that I can unlock my mech again. Like, oh, here's a Tommy gun. Good. That's the kind of thing I needed. But check out in the upper left-hand corner a progress bar tracking how many enemies I defeated. Like, this is exactly the same game. Okay, I took a bunch of damage for that, but is worth it. If I can get my mech back, I can annihilate these guys. So close to having all the mech parts. Oh, here's my revolver. I've got a shield. Good. That's helpful. Oh, mech part. Oh crap, I can't get in there to it. It's just surrounded by enemies. And now look, they've spawned these spawners. Oh, Nova? What's that? I don't know. I don't know this game as well as I should. My mech is ready. Here we go. Oh, my health is down, but now I've got a mech. Oh, hey, I got more perks. Faster teleporter. Oh, bullets pierce enemies. That seems valuable. Extra speed. And more power-ups, sure. Oh, there's a nuke. Boom. XP doubler. Those are always good. Ah! Tommy gun. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got some more perks. Weapon damage up. Chance to avoid damage. That's good. Pick got more mech parts. Oh, and look, check this out. Fire bullets. You guys remember what fire bullets did in Crimsonland? Does the same thing. Pierces enemies. Does extra damage. So, I mean, this game is basically exactly Crimsonland. Only fancier 3D graphics. You'll notice that the speed is much faster. But, like, even just, like, different kinds of spawners, different kinds of enemies to destroy. Like, every detail of Crimsonland is replicated in Tesla VS Lovecraft. And I just love it because, you know, because Crimsonland, like I said, it's the kind of game that anybody can learn how to make. Like, it's right there at that sort of ground level of simplicity where it's just, hey, here's a big open space, here's some enemies with some simple AI, here's your abilities to just, like, you know, move and fire in any direction, and then we're tracking the numbers. Go. You know, it's that straightforward. But then those simple ideas can be built into something that's much more, you know, involved, complex. It's faster paced. You'll notice everything, you know, it works the same, but it moves much faster. It's very satisfying. Splashy explosions, crazy, you know, like modern 3D graphics, all that stuff that wasn't there in Crimsonland is here, but it's basically the exact same game. And so, I don't know, to me, I just feel like Tentons, these are awesome people, and they should give hope. Like, anybody who's sort of sitting at home wondering, you know, will I ever, you know, can I make games? You know, will I ever, you know, I you know, remember before I got hired by a game studio feeling like, you know, it's not even trying to get into the game industry, because I felt like, well, obviously, you know, making games isn't something a person can do. No one can make games. It's this, like, magical thing that exists in some far-off land. And, you know, I was wrong. I lucked into, you know, getting my first entry-level position in the game industry and sort of turning it into a career, but, you know, I was extremely lucky getting the opportunity that I got. Like, it really just sort of came out of nowhere. But this, I know, it just, what Tentons does, just, it gives me so much hope, you know, that people who are at home playing games, who have dreams of making games, like they should look at this and be like, I can do this too, you know? I mean, these guys are really good at what they do. They're making great stuff that I'm, you know, I haven't had a single regret about buying any of their games. It's a lot of fun, but it just started with something extremely simple, something that was just very simple, very accessible. And they started there. They set their sights, you know, at a low reasonable level, and then they just worked on it and built from that foundation. And, you know, realize there's not actually that much of a difference between a simple game like Crimsonland and you know, faster paced, more complex game like Tesla VS Lovecraft. Like, if you can do one, you can eventually do the other. And it's doesn't mean you can play this game very well, which, you know, I can't. But yeah, I don't know. So that's just, it's interesting to watch them go, you know, watch Tentons go from this extremely simple game up to this, you know, flashy, explosive, you know, nuts game, and have it be, you know, basically the exact same thing, sort of progressing slowly with the same people, just saying, you know what, that thing we did before, we can do it again, but better. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say about that, except just I love these guys, and I just, you know, I love to watch their work progress over time. So my hand fell on my controller, and I don't know what button it hit, but I think it caused the opening cutscene to appear, which is strange. But now I've made it go away. I'm gonna quit. I said I'm gonna quit. I said I'm gonna quit. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I just want to quit. I want to quit. Let me quit. Alright, so that was Tesla vs. Lovecraft, and these games have been sitting on my desktop just waiting for me to make a video of them for a really long time, because I don't know. I just kind of fell in, like, when I realized that Crimsonland and Tesla vs. Lovecraft were essentially the same. I just like I need to make a video about this just because I don't know. It's just that's how this stuff works, and I felt like I had to say it out loud somewhere. So here you go. I've said it out loud. This is actually my curse, is the fact that when I have a thought in my head, until I've said it out loud to somebody, it just doesn't feel like it's real. So as usual, I've been ignoring the chat. Hi, chat. Hey, Sunny Jim. Thanks for showing up, even though you were completely unacknowledged the entire time. So yeah, basically Tesla versus Lovecraft is Crimsonland 2. That's what Sunny Jim was saying, and yeah, that's basically what it is. And it's great. And let's see. Oh, so I guess I should do the thing that I do at the end of videos, which is put up the black bar where I can stick, like links to other videos and stuff. And I can say like, subscribe to my channel and stuff like that. I don't know when I'll release these videos. I'll probably just try to space them out a little bit, so I'm not just suddenly like people who haven't seen a video from me in ages suddenly get a flood of them. That would be annoying. But yeah, that's Tentons. And I'm probably going to play more of their games.